let's be very blunt and very honest about this. First of all, as I said before, this is every political commentator's worst nightmare, every broadcaster's fear. This is the premise, the basis, the foundation of stage fright. Stage fright is not actually the fear of talking to other people. It's the fear that you're going to freeze up, the fear that you're not going to know what to say, the fear that you're going to black out and your body is going to be paralyzed and your mind is going to be paralyzed. You're not going to know what to say. And it's a very real fear because for most of us, it's happened at some time or another, especially if you spend a great deal of time in front of the camera. So looking at it from that perspective, I see something like this and I think, okay, well, it happens to everyone. It's not that big of a deal. As a political commentator, I look at this and I see two things. I see a scenario that if this had been a video of a leftist who couldn't define a word that she had just written a book about it, I would be equally as savage as leftists are being towards Bethany. So from a purely political game standpoint, okay, it's fair game. Go ahead, make fun of her, make fun of it, make fun of the whole scenario. It is what it is. It's going to happen. It's also objectively not a good look for a conservative who just wrote a book about wokeness not to be able to define wokeness. Now, you can argue that at the very end of that clip, Bethany defined wokeness, and she clearly knows what wokeness is. This wasn't a good illustration of her knowledge or her understanding of the concept, but all of those things can be true at the same time. The woman, however, who was asking the question, the woman on the left, she's a host for Rising, which is a show that's produced by The Hill. Her name's Brianna Joy Gray. Now, her name might sound familiar to you because she's a former political operative. She actually used to be the press secretary for Bernie Sanders for president, his campaign for president in 2020. So a mere 3 years ago, this woman was the propaganda shill for Bernie Sanders. So you can see the tone of voice. It is not the question. I don't have a problem with her question. It's actually a pretty astute question to go ahead and define woke if you're using it. But you can see the tone of voice and the body language, and that's the background of it. Now, the background here is important because Bethany responded to this pile-on or this tweet going viral. I want to read you what she said. Let me bring it up. She said, "So everybody has seen my viral brain fart from Rising this morning. I can see why it went viral, of course. For those who haven't seen it, here it is." She said a little bit of backstory. Just before we went on air, Brianna Joy Gray was on a hot mic. I heard her demeaning parenting in general in colorful and nasty terms, stating parents only have kids in order to perpetuate their own narcissism. Robbie, the other co-host, responded, "There are some good ones and some bad ones." As a mom of 6, Bethany says, including a newborn, this threw me off a bit. Not an excuse, just a reality. I'm human. As for wokeness, she writes, here's the actual definition. A radical belief system suggesting that our institutions are built around discrimination and claiming that all disparity is a result of that discrimination. It seeks a radical redefinition of society in which equality of group result is the endpoint enforced by an angry mob.
Hi guys, it's Liz Wheeler. Don't forget to watch my show, The Liz Wheeler Show, every night at 7 p.m. on the First TV. You can download the free First TV app, or you can visit thefirsttv.com/Liz and start watching today.